Kraikai and I, Ella Marie, will be taking you through the first half, hopefully, of Amores 1.2. I know it has been like 6 months, which is crazy, but my arm, which was injured, I'm sure I said this in a previous video, went bad again, and it turned out didn't have tennis elbow but bicep tendonitis. It's a whole thing. It's getting better now, and now I can write. Plus, then when I was going to do another video, it turned out that my laptop screen cracked and wouldn't allow touchscreen anymore, so that sucked. But I have a new laptop which I need to put in tablet mode. There we go, and voila, we can go through the first half of Amores 1.2. So let us start. We have what? Quid to, what colour do I usually do this in? Let's go red. Quid, what? That's an easy start. What? And then we have decam, the verb. And decam has 2 choices. We can either have it as a future indicative, or we can have it as the present subjunctive. I hope this is recording, or I haven't done this in a while. And since it's like what, and then I say, because they're both first person singular, which I'll put down here. And then we have an essay, which is an infinitive, a present infinitive. So since this seems to be some sort of indirect statement, we're thinking that it should be present subjunctive. So what should I say? That. And then we have hoc, this, which will be the accusative singular. That, this, and then essay is. Then we have the quad, which would be talking about the hoc, the this. So quad, that. We go to the verb videnter, and the enter shows us that it is passive. From video, and it's a present. I've literally just said it's passive. My brain's not working today. I'm too tired. Present indicative, I hope. 3rd person plural. So that it seems, and then we have a mihi, which is dative. I've kindly put to me there already. So it seems to me yes, because video can either be it is seen, or it can be the deponent, it seems. So in this one, we're thinking the deponent verb, video, sounds better than the passive of video. So it seems to me. And then we're wondering what seems to me. And we have strata down here, beautiful underlining on the next line. I do sometimes wonder about my notes. Sorry, I just write stuff wrong. I haven't looked at these notes in 6 months, by the way, so I'm just figuring stuff out. Strata, which is from stratum, neuter, that is nominative plural. The mattress, nominative plural, because we're like saying it's being funky and cool, but we wouldn't say mattresses because that's a bit weird. And it would enter, it seems, they seem, to me, to Ovid, tam, so, and then dura, harsh. Probably should have looked over this before. And so harsh would be accusative, plural, because it is neuter. So the mattress seems so harsh to Ovid. Neque, and not. We can find the verb sedent, And we see that that's present, active, and it's a third person plural. And it's indicative. I hope I'm spelling indicative right. So they sit or they stay. Then we can find the nominative, and we can see that pallia from pallium neuter is our... Why have I put all of this stuff as accusative plural? Hang on. The pallia is the subject, nominative plural, and nostra will go with that, so that is also nominative plural, neuter. So that our blankets, Ovid is just being a fancy poet by saying our, and it's the royal we, as you've probably heard in English. So he's effectively saying my blankets, and we have neque, do not stay in lecto. Lecto is ablative, so it's on my bed. How can you sleep without blankets on your bed? You're going to be a bit cold, aren't you? So then we have et vacuus somno noctem, quam longa peregi lassaque versati corporis ossa dolent. Et, and, so we have peregi. That sounds a bit like a verb, doesn't it? So that is from perago. So it is perfect, active, indicative, which I keep forgetting to write on first. Perfect, first person singular. And my pen is running out of battery, and I need to find the other batteries, but that can wait unless it completely runs out. And now I am rambling. So I have passed through perfect. We need an accusative. So we have noctem, which is obviously my pen. Accusative singular. I have passed through the night. And this night has been quam longa, so long, because longa is feminine and nox is also feminine. So I have passed through the night so long. Vacuous, the us shows it's masculine and it's nominative singular. So we're talking about Ovid here. So he has passed through the night empty, and then somno, and that is ablative singular, and this is an ablative of separation, so empty from sleep, or in English we would probably say something like empty or devoid of sleep. But it's because you're like separated from the sleep that it's an ablative. Then we have a lassaque, and the que means and we can see dolent is the verb, and dolent is active, indicative, present, third person, singular, plural in fact. They ache. I hope me going through this is helping everything make sense. They ache. What ache? Ossa. That can be the nominative plural. So my bones ache. And we have lassa, which can go together with the bones. So my weary bones ache. So, and my weary bones ache, the weary bones, and then we have versati corporis. Corporis is genitive singular from corpus, and versati is from verso, I twist. And this is the perfect passive participle. I'm just going to put PPP. You can remember what that means. And that is also genitive singular. And because corpus is neuter, the versati is also neuter. So these two go together. Of my body having been twisted, of my twisted body. So my weary bones of my twisted body ache. And this is all a question. Of him, like, what do I say that this is? Why are all of these things happening to me? Why have my blankets fallen off my bed? Why is my mattress hard? Why have I not been able to sleep? Why do my bones ache? Nam puto sentirem sequor temptare amore. Nam is easy. For. And then puto, again easy, because that is active, indicative. Wish I could write faster. Present, first person singular. I think that. And then sentirem. This one is from, you can see there's like the infinitive. Is the infinitive of sentio? Yeah, sentio. Sentire. And if you see the infinitive plus an ending on the end, that usually means that it is the imperfect subjunctive of the active form. And the M on the end shows that it's first person singular. So I was noticing, so for I think that I would feel, or I would notice perhaps, siquo, if, then temptare, that is also subjunctive, and that's because we have like a, we have the siquo, if, and because it's the are, we know that this is also imperfect. And then this is actually the passive. I feel like I should be writing these in a specific order instead of changing it every time. This is also first person singular. Ovid is speaking to us. So if I was being tested, and then amore is ablative singular, by love. So the whole sentence would be for. I think that I would notice if I were being tempted by love. If I were tested by love. Make sure that's passive. An subit et tecta calidus arte nocet. Or is the an. And this is a question we must remember. So subit from subeo, actually. So it springs up. That is active, indicative, present, first person singular. No, it is not. It's third person, and I just robbed too much. Third person singular. Or does it spring up, and does it nocet from noceo? That's also, oh, wrong line. Active, indicative, present, third person singular. Does it harm? And then we have arte, which is ablative singular with skill. And now arte comes from ars, which is feminine, and tecta is also feminine. So we think that tecta could be ablative singular with concealed skill. And calidus will be, it's got the us, so that's evidently nominative singular. So does it clever or cleverly harm with hidden skill? Concealed skill. Sic erit, thus it will be. This is active indicative, future third person singular. Haeserunt tenues in corde sagittae et possessa ferus pectora versat amor. We have haeserunt right at the beginning of the sentence. Perhaps that emphasises something, since the verb isn't usually first, is it? Haeserunt from haereo, so that's active indicative, and then it's the perfect tense because the stem changes a little bit, and it's third person plural. They cling or they stick. Then tenues, that seems like it could be nominative plural, doesn't it? Be tender. But we have to figure out what that's describing first. So we go along and we see sagittae. From sagitta, that can be nominative plural, can't it? Just like tenues. So we have tender arrows, because we need a plural for this verb. Tender arrows cling or stick in corde. Corde is ablative, going with in my heart, because we're still talking about Ovid here. And et, and then amor would be the nominative singular, love, or you could just call him amor if you want, love. And then versat, active, indicative, present to third person singular. Love stirs, pectora, from pectus. Pectus, I believe, is third declension, and I am right. So love stirs, pectora can be accusative plural. I'm not gonna lie, don't know why it's plural. Love stirs, chests, and then possessor, having been captured, perfect passive participle from possesso. And this is also the accusative plural for neuters, because pectus in fact is neuter. And then we have ferus, wild, which is nominative. That can go with amor. So wild love stirs captured chests. I don't know if we're talking about like chests widely, or if we're talking about Ovids. But yeah, lovely. Or maybe not lovely, because Ovid is experiencing all these horrible things because of love. Cedimus, and subitum luctando accendimus ignem. So cedimus, from cedo, the mus shows that it's first person plural. Okay, I am right. Cool. It is active, indicative, present, first person plural. I'm literally doing the wrong line, but they're exactly the same word. So both of these don't worry guys, I'm okay, are active, indicative, present, first person plural. So since that we have a question mark here, it's a question. Do I yield an, or do I accendimus, active, indicative, present, third person plural. Oh, we're also translating this as I instead of we, even though it is third person plural because it's Ovid talking. And maybe that's why he has made the chests plural. He's talking about our captured chests when it's actually just his. Or do I kindle? Ignem is the accusative singular. The fire, the subitum ignem, the unexpected fire. Luctando, ablative singular. The nd shows that it's a gerund, an ablative gerund, so we'll say by struggling. Do I yield or do I kindle the unexpected fire by struggling? The unexpected fire being the love that Cupid has supposedly thrust upon him. And we have Cedimus again, and this time it's not a question, it's like, let me yield. Let me give in. Leva fit quod bene fertu onus. So we have fit, which is a verb. Fit is from theo. So this would be active indicative, present third person, and I don't have enough room, singular. So it becomes, and then we have another one, which is furter, but this is between the quad. So we're thinking that could be sectioned off. So onus looks like it could be our nominative, doesn't it? And, spoiler alert, it is our nominative singular. So the burden becomes light. Lovely. Now this is going to be accusative singular from Levis. So we have some extra information about this burden, which is neuter, hence the quad. The burden which furter. Now this is passive. Oh no, I've pressed stuff and it's not working. This is great. How do I stop this? Everything is selected. There we go. Nice. Pass. Please don't happen again. Oh, why won't it let me write? This isn't going... Oh, great. This isn't going well, is it? Well, this isn't great. Let me pause and I will be back in a minute. Okay, I am back and it's working now. So the burden, which furter, passive, but it's a present passive, indicative as well, and it's third person singular. The burden which is carried bene, well. And then we have the next line, vidi ego jactatus, in fact, motor face crescere flammas, et rursus nullo concutiente mori. I feel like I need to hurry up. So witty, I saw, this is perfect first person singular, active and indicative. Going to keep abbreviating stuff. And then we have an ego to emphasize that it was truly him. And we don't have a we this time. We have an I. I saw, or maybe I have seen, something like that. We need an accusative. What did he see? Flammas, accusative plural. He saw the flames. And we have jactatus, which is perfect passive participle of jacto, which is also accusative plural, which can go with our feminine flames. I have seen flames shaken, having been shaken by the torch, fax, face. This is ablative singular. So by the torch, and then the motor can be the adjective of face. And motor, I've put movement, but it's actually the perfect passive participle of moveo, so that's also ablative singular. So the torch having been moved. And then we have crescere. I have seen the flames crescere, grow. This is the present infinitive. Or you could see, I have seen that the flames grow when shaken by the movement of a torch. And we can imply the widdy again. I have seen, and again the flames are implied. I have seen that the flames mori. The flames, this is also a present infinitive. The flames die, rursus again. And then we have concutiente, from something, which I haven't written down. Concutiente, from concutiens. Concutio. So, what was I trying to do? It's the present participle, as shown from the ent, and it is ablative singular. By shaking, with shaking, and then we have a nullo, which is also ablative singular, with no one shaking. So I've seen the flames, I've seen that flames grow, having been shaken by the movement of the torch, and I have seen that flames die again with no one shaking them. Herbera plura ferunt, quamquos juvat usus aratri detractant prensi dum juga prima boves. So ferunt, the verb. They endure. This is active, indicative, present, third person plural. Then we have a quam, than. Let's section that off. So something endures, plura verbera, which are accusative plurals. Something endures more blows. What does? We look through the sentence, we've got another verb here, detractant. Prensi, we've got as a participle. And while we go here, we keep going back up to boves, oxes, that can be our nominative plural. So the oxes endure more blows. Then we have a dum. Oh no, we first have prensi, which can go together with the boves because that's nominative plural. The oxen, oxes, do we say oxen? Probably. Having been seized. Then we have the dum, while they detractant. Active, indicative, present, third person plural, while they refuse the juga prima. They're both accusative plural. The first yokes, because jugum is neuter. So the oxen, having been seized, while they refuse the first yokes, they ferunt, they endure, plura verbera, more blows. Then we have this section of part, quam, than. Juat is our verb, and that is active, indicative, present, third person singular. Then it pleases. What pleases? Usus can be our nominative, singular. The use, and then we have aratri, which can be, well, which is genitive. The use of the plough pleases. And then quos, who, accusative plural, talking about the oxen. So the oxen, having been seized, while they refuse the first yoke, endure more blows than those whom the use of the plough pleases. Asper equus juris contunditur ora lupatis frena minus sentit quisquis ad arma facit. This one looks quite easy. Look, asper equus. These both look like a nominative singular. The first time I look at them, so I'm just going to label them as that. Not much else they can be. A wild horse. And then contunditur is the verb, which is passive, indicative, present, third person singular. Oh, I'm actually coming on to the part that I have looked at now. Woo! Better notes on this part. So, a wild horse, or the wild horse, is bruised, passive, and then you would think it would be bruised by something, wouldn't you? So we're going to find, let's see, an ablative. And then this looks to be ablative plural. So by sharp points, or in the cases of horses, the bits, which are like the things that go in its mouth. And we have juris, which can also go with that. So bruised by harsh bits. And then we have ora, mouth, which is an accusative. And this is an accusative of respect. So it is bruised by harsh bits in respect of its mouth. Effectively in its mouth. And then we have sentit, which is to feel. This is also active, indicative, present, third person singular. And it feels, the wild horse feels, the frena, accusative plural, the bridles, because it's from frenum, minus, less. And then we have quisquis, whoever, that is nominative singular. So whoever, facit, acts, active, indicative, present, third person singular, whoever acts. And then we have ad arma. Arma is accusative plural, and that's saying in accordance with its armour. And then we can, it feels the bridle less, whoever acts in accordance with its armour. Maybe let's put that around a bit and say whichever for a horse, acts in accordance with its armour, feels the bridle less. Or, as you can see, I've put in brackets here, adapts. You could say adapts to its harness, since it is a horse. Aquis invitos multoque ferocit ius urget quam quiso vitium fere fatente amor. Urget, it bears down. That's active. Oh, my pen stopped working again. There we go. Active, indicative, present, third person, singular. After this, I am finding a new battery. Everything is... Oh, I don't know where anything is anymore since I've moved, but it's fine. It bears down. And we can have, I've put my notes on in brackets, which I haven't put here. So it bears down on. What bears down on? We look through the sentence and we find amor at the end. That is clearly nominative singular. So love bears down. And we have acreus, which is a comparative, more keenly. Love bears down more keenly on. We need an accusative. Here's an accusative plural. Oh, we have a ferocious as well, which is also a comparative. And a que, and the multoque, which shows an and. So it bears down more keenly, and multo ferocious, much more fiercely, on the invitos, on the unwilling. Quam, than. Qui is nominative plural, than those who. Fatenter, the verb. That is not active, that is passive. But it's deponent. So technically it is active. Indicative, present, third person singular. I feel like I should put deponent instead of active, but whatever. Let's put dep. From fateor. So they acknowledge than those who acknowledge that. Then ferere, infinitive, present infinitive, that they are enduring, Sir Whittiam, accusative singular, slavery. Don't put plural. So love bears down more keenly and much more fiercely on the unwilling than those who acknowledge that they are enduring slavery. So love is harder for those who are trying to fight it than those who are just accepting that they should be controlled by love. God, there's so much more to go. I'm running out of time. En ego confiteor tuasum noa praeda cupido. So en, very well. Ego, I. Confiteor. Active. Oh, my pen, my stupid pen. Active, indicative, present, first person singular. I concede. So Ovid is giving up. Sum is the verb. Active, indicative, present, first person singular again. I am. And then we have nominatives after the verb to be. And these all go together. They are all nominative singular. I am your new plunder, Cupidor, which is vocative singular, since we are addressing Cupid. Very well, I concede. I am your new plunder, Cupid. Then polygamous from porigo. This is active, indicative, present, first person, plural. We stretch out. Ovid's doing the royal we again. So I stretch out. Accusative. Manus can be accusative plural, and victas can go with that since manus is feminine. I stretch out my conquered hands. Ad tua jura. These are both accusative singular, I believe, from ius. Oh, accusative plural, sorry. Since gravy. I'm sorry, give me a second. I went on Wiktionary, not the best way, but whatever, to look up this. Well, actually, it's a pretty good way. And I just saw gravy on it, and that, oh my god, it can mean gravy. Just can mean gravy, that's crazy. Anyway, not what I was trying to find. I was trying to find, yes, so ius is neuter, which I don't know off the top of my head. So these are both accusative plural as well because of ad. So I stretch out my conquered hands to your laws. He's allowing Cupid to bind him, and he's allowing himself to do whatever the hell love wants him to do. Nil opus est bello veniam pacemque rogamus. Est. Active, indicative, present, third person, singular. Can't speak, can't think. It is, or maybe there is, and nihil is no. There is no opus, nominative singular, there is no need. And bello can be dative singular for war. Rogamus, active, indicative, present, first person, plural. I ask, again, royal we, I ask, or to ask for, should put that in brackets. Veniam pacemque, both accusative singular. I ask for mercy and for peace. Nec tibi laus armis victus inermis ero. Ero is the verb, active. Sorry, I'm going to be doing a lot of signing for this pen. Active, indicative, future, first person singular. I will be. And tibi, dative, to you. and we have a neck. And I will not be to you. An arrow is from some. I will be to you. I will not be to you. So that's why we have a nominative singular afterwards. I will not be to you glory. And then we're talking about Ovid, Victus, from winco, perfect passive participle, nominative singular. And I need to look up again, since I haven't put whether louse is feminine or not, but it sounds feminine, and it looks, why has it given me a name? Yeah, it is feminine indeed. So Victus cannot go with louse, so it must go with the subject. So I, having been conquered, and then we also have inermis, which is also masculine. I, having been conquered, unarmed, in fact. And then we have armis, which would be ablative plural, by weapons, will not bring glory to you. I say bring instead of be, because it's a bit weird to say I will not be glory, you know. Necte commam merto maternas junge Columbus. Necte, that is an imperative. So you are doing an order. He is ordering Cupid. Is he ordering Cupid? Well, he's ordering someone. Bind what? Commam, accusative singular. Bind your hair, myrto, that is ablative singular, with myrtle. And then we have another imperative here, junge, harness. And then these two go together, accusative plural. Your mother's doves. Qui deciat curam vitricus ipse dabit, inque dato caru. Oh, this is long. Populo clamante triumphum stabis et adjunctas arte movebit bis aves. So qui deceat is a little part of section off, since it's qui, and then the deceat seems like it is subjunctive. So we'll go to the main verb dabit, which is active, indicative, future, third person singular, because it is from do, to give. So he will give. He ipse, he himself. And then who himself? Vitricus, stepfather. And who is Cupid's stepfather but Vulcan? Or in, if you would like to know their Greek name, he would be Hephaestus. So your stepfather himself will give you curum, that's accusative singular, a chariot, from curus. And then we have this little clause, the chariot which, qui, deceat, that is active, subjunctive, present, third person singular, which is right for you, and it's subjunctive because it's in this little qui clause. Que and in, and then the kuru, that's ablative singular because it goes with the in. In this chariot, dato, from again do, this is the perfect passive participle, and this is also ablative singular going with the chariot. In the chariot having been given, or the chariot which he is given to you in better English. And then we have an ablative absolute, populo clamante, with the people shouting triumph. This is a present participle. With the people shouting, and then triumph is accusative singular, triumph. Stabis, active, indicative, future, second person singular, you will stand. And et movebis, you will guide. The accusative is Amores, accusative plural, the birds, and then we also have, since the Amores are feminine, adjunctus can go with them. The harnessed birds, arte from Ars, ablative singular with skill. Ducenta capti juvenes captae quae puellae. Ducenta, verb. That is passive, indicative, future, third person plural. They will be led. Who will be led? Juvenes, nominative plural, and then the capti can go with them. Perfect passive participle of capio. Same with capti, which will go with the puellae, which are also nominative plural, since there is a que in between. So the captive young men and the captive girls will be led. Haec tibi magnificus pompa triumphus erit. Erit is the verb, active, indicative, future, third person singular. It will be. What will be? So, since everything else will be nominatives, because this is a sum, let's just match them up first. Magnificus triumphus will go together, and haec pompa will go together, because triumphus is masculine and pompa is feminine. So we have this procession and splendid triumph. Now I have to see which one sounds better. This procession will be a splendid triumph and then to be for you, or a splendid triumph will be this procession for you. And common sense dictates that it will be, this procession will be a splendid triumph for you. So there you go. Ipse ego praeda recens factum moro vulnus habebo et nova captiva vincula mente feram. So ego ipse, I myself, nominatives, and then we have recens, which we can see is also nominative singular, recent, and then praeda, also nominative singular, because recent is the adjective to plunder. Recent, I myself, your recent plunder. And then we have habebo, the verb, which is active, indicative, future, first person singular. I will have, need an accusative. Woolness is third declension I have written. You can tell that I really don't trust myself. It is indeed third declension, which is accusative singular. It is neuter, and that makes sense. I will have a wound, factum. Since this is neuter, factum can go with woolness as an accusative singular. I will have a wound having been made, modo, recently. And et feram, active, indicative, future, first person singular, because we must remember that the future tense goes a bit differently for some declensions. Is declension the right word? Yes, it is. No, it's not. Conjugation is the word for verbs. Conjugations. I will bear, accusative, chains. Accusative plural. This is neuter from vinculum. And then we have nova captiva, which are both adjectives. And then we have mente, mind, which is ablative singular. I will bear chains with my mind. Now we have to figure out which ones go with which, and we could scan the line, although I'm not going to do that because, to be quite honest, I haven't done scansion in probably at least 6 months, and I've probably forgotten how to do it. Anyway, So we can have a look. You can have a captured mind or a new mind. Captured chains or new chains. And we think it sounds better to have new... Oh, did you know that could happen? New chains and a captured mind. So I will bear my new chains with my captured mind. I hope that has helped. I will read out the whole translation of that part now. What should I say that this is? That my mattress seems so hard to me, and that my blankets do not stay on my bed. And I have passed the whole night so long, devoid of sleep, and my weary bones of my twisted body ache. For I think that I would feel it if I were being tested by love. Or does it spring up suddenly? Does it spring up and cleverly harm with hidden skill? It will be thus. Tender arrows have stuck in my heart, and wild love stirs my captured chest. Do I surrender, or do I kindle the unexpected fire by struggling? Let me surrender. A burden which is carried well becomes light. I have seen flames grow when shaken by the movement of a torch, and I have seen them die again when there was nobody shaking it. Oxen, having been seized while they refuse the first yoke, endure more blows than those whom the use of the plough pleases. A wild horse... I just lost my face. A wild horse is bruised by harsh bits in its mouth. The one which adapts to its harness feels the bridle less. Love bears down on the unwilling much more keenly and fiercely than those who acknowledge that they are enduring slavery. Very well, I confess. I am your new plunder, Cupid. I stretch out my conquered hands to your laws. There is no need for war. I ask for mercy and peace. I shall not bring you glory, conquered unarmed by arms. Bind your hair with myrtle, harness your mother's doves. Your stepfather will himself give you a chariot, which is right for you. In the chariot which he has given, with the people shouting triumph, you will stand and guide with skill the harnessed birds. Captive youths and captive girls will be led. This procession will be a splendid triumph for you. I myself, your latest plunder, will have my newly made wound and will bear my new chains with my captured mind. One thing that I didn't point out was in, let me change my colour, this line. Both myrtle and doves are sacred to Venus, who is Cupid's mother. So we've got a little bit of symbolism in there. And we've also got Ovid framing love and love as Cupid as having a triumph, which is like a military procession after having won like a battle. But it's like really esteemed, you know. It's like the city is thanking you for this. And then we'll get some more of that when we carry on. And you can tell that I haven't carried on putting the words on it yet. Oh, thank you for listening. I hope this has helped. I'm thinking hopefully I might be able to get one video out every month. I'm quite busy at the moment with work. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you didn't understand anything or if you did understand stuff. Thank you for listening.